Alright, I want to show you how to edit your homepage. You have the ability to control the content in your website. So I just want to show you how this works. Just for a second, let's just look at your homepage. Obviously you've got your logo. You've got some nav that auto generates in these drop downs when you add content. You have your slideshow here. Upcoming events, which this is going to get pulled. This is auto generated from your events information. So every time you add an event, it'll pull the most recent 4 and put them on your homepage. Down here you've got 4 buttons which you can change, create however you'd like. Down here we have Twitter information that's being pulled from a Twitter account. Right now it's mine, but that gets pulled from whatever account you guys want it to be pulled from. And then you have some social networking links down here that you can control and link up however you want. So let me just show you how you can change this stuff. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, click on Admin Login. It's going to create a separate window or tab depending on what browser you're using. It's going to ask for a username and password. You're going to log in with your information that you've given me, that you wanted your username to be. If you're looking at your control panel, you're going to see a bunch of tabs. You need to ignore most of these. You don't want to get into a lot of these. But 3 that you'll be using a lot is Publish, Edit, and then we've created a tab called Edit Homepage because you'll probably be changing your homepage more than any other page. But Publish is for new content that doesn't exist on the web page, that you're creating brand new. Edit is for things that already exist. Pages that already exist, but you want to make changes on them, misspelled words, wrong content, staff changes, whatever. So we don't want to publish a homepage because we already have a homepage. So we can just click on this Edit Homepage button, and that's going to pull up this form that has all the content for the homepage. So let's just kind of work through this real quick, and then we'll make some changes. The title of the page is homepage. Now, if you look over here, you don't see that anywhere. Nobody sees that on the website. Only you see that for record keeping. And just for the sake of right now, I'll just show you that as you add pages and entries, those titles are important because it's how you'll find them and track them. For right now, there's only homepage. But so you've titled it homepage. We've titled it homepage, I mean. And we've got slideshow. So if we go back and look over here, slideshow is the first thing that we actually can edit on the homepage. So we've got 2 images. We've got a picture of a preacher, and then we've got the picture of the guy dancing outside or whatever he's doing there. Yeah. So if you look here, you'll see the 2 images that we've uploaded. All right, we uploaded the files there and there. Right now we don't have them linking to anything, but we could. So if you go to slideshow, under slideshow you see image and you see slideshow link URL. So let's just say we want to link the preacher image to Yahoo. I would just type in Yahoo. I would go up here and I would click update. If we refresh the page, depending on how fast the internet's running here, pretty slow. Okay. If we refresh the page, we can click on that and we go to Yahoo. Now, obviously, you're probably not sending anybody to Yahoo, but you can link that. So if you put a slide up there for a sermon series, a slide up there for videos, YouTube links, pages on the website, youth banners, whatever, you can type in the link to that page right there, and that's always going to link. All right. So let's say you wanted to have 4 or 5 images, and right now we've only got 2. How would you add more? If you look down here, you see a little button that says Add Row. You would click that. It's going to give you a new Choose File option and a new slideshow link. All right. So I would just click this. It's going to go to my hard drive, and I would find the image that I want to upload. I don't have anything right now I want to upload, but you could just upload another image. Make sure those images are 600 by 310. I've already told it to display at that size, so if you don't put it in that size, it's going to shrink it to that size. So if it's not the right dimensions, it could be skewed or stretched out or not look right. So whoever does your graphic design, just make sure it's 600 by 310. Choose that file there. Put any link that you want, and let's say you want to rearrange the order. You don't like the order they're in. If you look over here to the left, you see some arrows, right? You just take those and you can drag and drop and put them in whatever order you want to put them in. All right. So that's your slideshow. Let's move on down the page. If we look here, like I said, these events are going to be auto-generated from your event information, so you won't actually control that on the home page. That's going to be pulled from elsewhere. So the next thing that you can edit is these 4 buttons. All right. Now these consist of a few things. They consist of a background image, and they consist of a title, and then obviously they're going to link somewhere. So if we look here, we see, just like in the slideshow, we see that we've uploaded a picture here. All right. We see that we have a video label, which is video news. You see that right here, video news. Okay. And then wherever we want the button link to go. So there again, if you type in Yahoo, click update. Click on that. You're going to go to Yahoo. All right. Makes sense. Pretty simple. All right. So you've got your image, your label, and your link. All right. Let's go ahead and erase that. So you can make these anything you want. Right now we have images just for things that we thought worked, but you can make them anything. But make sure those pictures are 210 by 130. All right. There again, I've got them to display at that image. So if they're not that image, if they're not that size, excuse me, display that size. If they're not that size, they're going to display at that size, and it may, make them look not right. So make them 210 by 130. Upload your image, okay? Give it a title, what you want it to display, and then where you want it to link to, anywhere in the website or anywhere else. Now, if you'll notice, there is no add row here like there is here for the slideshow, because you're never going to have more than 4 buttons. So if you're going to change a button, then you're going to have to go and change the information that's already in here, or delete it altogether, and then you'll have an add row button. So you'll never have more than 4 buttons, but you can always change the order, just like I showed you there. And let's say you decided you did want to change information. How would you do that? Well, you just hit this trash can right here, and it's going to say either I don't want to use this image, or I want to delete it from my site. Well, if you're ever going to go back and put that image back up, like an online giving or whatever, then just click don't use this image. Don't delete it from the site, and I'll show you why in just a second. All right. So let's say we had gone in here and changed this, but now 2 or 3 weeks later, we want to go back and use online giving. I would see an empty space here. I would, instead of choosing choose file, I could do that and re-upload that online giving file, or I could just use an existing file that's already on my server. And I could go down to giving pick. There it is, right? I want it to say online giving, or no, actually I want it to say give online. And then I could put my link right there. Okay? Pretty straightforward. You would do the same up here. Hit the trash can to erase something, and don't delete it if you're ever going to use it again. All right. So if we look farther down the page here, we've got a Twitter account, and we've got it's pulling information, updates, and then we've got some social network links, right? Well, if you'll see here, there's a space that says Twitter account. All you have to do is put in the @ and then Twitter account name for whatever you're wanting to pull. So if New Hope Church sets up one, whatever username you get, just put the @ symbol and that username in there. And once you click update, that's going to pull the information from that account. And then for the social network links, you see the icons. These are ping images, transparent backgrounds. I would encourage you to use transparent backgrounds because you never know where they're going to be displayed, and you don't want ugly, jagged corners. So if you want to add a YouTube, you can do that. If you want to take down Vimeo or whatever, let's say Facebook's not popular in a year or two, you could do that. And then over here, you just want to link to the accounts that you want, pages you want them to go to. So right now, these are all set up for me, Jason Isaacs. These are all my accounts, but you would just go in here and put New Hope International for whatever pages you guys have, and then obviously, like always, you can just change the order if you want to put them in different orders. Okay, so once you make all your changes, you would just come up here and hit the update button, and those changes are always instant, and that's how you edit your homepage, man.